Life editors, welcome to another one of our weekly live stream calls. Thank you so much for joining me today. So we are streaming live right now on YouTube and on my Facebook business page. And for those of you who are brand new to life editing, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Sage Grayson, and I'm a former book editor turned life coach. I help ambitious women edit their habits, routines, and mindsets to balance their happiness at work and home. So I'm a life editor, and now so are you. So on these weekly calls, we talk about different aspects of my life editing process. We talk about motivation, we talk about business strategies, and this is really your chance to literally pick my brain. Whatever you want to know about staying motivated, reaching your goals, planning, I want to hear about it. So if you're here live or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what's on your mind. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what you're working on. And if you've got a great topic for one of these live stream calls, definitely want to hear it. All right, so today we have a topic that is near and dear to my heart because we are talking about life coaches. And specifically, we're talking about, can you coach yourself? Can you be your very own life coach? I don't know. That seems like a tall order. So we're going to talk about that today. Can you coach yourself? And obviously, because I am a life coach, what answer do you think I'm going to tell you? But let's get real here. The real answer to this question is, can you coach yourself? Can you be your own life coach? Is yes and no. And there's a really, really clear distinction. There is one single element that a life coach can provide that you can't do on your own. And we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And I'm not trying to be completely self-serving, be like, well, you got to hire me if you really want to reach your goals, because you know that's not true. You know, there are people out there who are reaching their goals every day and they're doing it without a coach. And maybe that's even you too. So let's talk about exactly what it means to be a life coach. Let me give you a little background about me and my story. So I'm Sage, and I started my life coaching business back in 2011. So I've been doing this for more than 10 years now. I feel like such an old person here in the field of life editing. But yeah, I've been running my successful online life coaching business for more than 10 years. And before that, I was a book editor. And I was a book editor for 10 years as well. So actually this year, like going on the next few months, I am going to be able to say that I've been a life coach longer than I was a book editor. And it is my longest career, my longest job to date is being a life coach. And I noticed as I started coaching my clients that I was using the same techniques that I was using back when I was a book editor. A little weird. I guess you could say I was treating my clients like books, but I noticed that as you're editing a manuscript, there is a very specific step-by-step process that you go through to clean up a book, to clean up an article, to get something ready to be published. And as you are cleaning up your lives and doing that, there is a very specific process to go through to edit your lives, just as if you were editing a manuscript. It made complete sense to me because it fit my type A, analytical, systematic, editorial mindset. And I knew that the clients that were coming to me, they would get that too, because they are type A. They are, let's be honest, a little high strung. And they like step by step processes. Oh, it just feels so good to have a process to follow. So out of combining my old job as a book editor and my new career as a life coach came my life editing process, which is the framework that I use for all my products and services. And it's what I lead my clients through, whether they're in my mastermind group, Life Editor Academy, or whether they're doing one-on-one coaching with me. So I have, now that I've been a coach for more than 10 years, I've coached thousands of women from all over the world. And I know what works. I can confidently say that. I know what works when it comes to self-development, when it comes to productivity, and when it comes to business strategies. Because I've been here, because I'm here for the long haul. I know what works. And my clients are getting really great results because of that expertise, because of my longevity as a coach. So let's talk about that. Let's say you are throwing around the idea of coaching yourself. And can you do that? Because everyone has goals. Everyone has things that they want to achieve in their lives. And you're thinking, okay, I want to reach this goal, whatever that is, whether that's weight loss or saving money or paying off debt or starting a business or improving your relationships, whatever it is, you want something in your life. But you're wondering, can I do this on my own? Or should I hire someone to help me go through the process and reach my goal maybe faster? Well, to answer the question of can you coach yourself, there are two things we need to look at. We need to look at self-development, which is what you want to get. You want to improve yourself in some way. We're going to look at self-development. And then the second thing we need to look at is accountability. So let's go through each of those on their own. Okay. So let's talk about self-development, because I think everyone in their hearts has this little need for self-development. We don't want to remain stagnant in our lives. We want to improve ourselves. We want to become the best versions of ourselves. This is exactly what I teach with life editing, where we're not throwing your life in the trash like a crumpled up piece of paper. This is not a total makeover. Life editing is all about making those incremental, tiny edits to become the best version of you. So you're still you, but it's like you times 10, or you the best, absolute, most exhilarating version of you. Okay, so we know that you want some kind of self-development. You want to improve in some way, whether it's your finances, relationships, health, business, whatever. You want to improve in some way. I fully believe 100% that you are capable of making changes right now, right as you are. Is that a little weird to hear coming from a coach? Shouldn't I be saying, hey, you got to work with me if you want to get what you want? No, actually, I fully believe that you are a capable, talented human being, and you can make changes in your life just as you are right now. I fully believe that you are capable of self-development completely on your own. You don't need me. You don't need any other coach. You can do it. So here's the thing. When you're going through a self-development journey, you have the power to watch videos, to read books, to read articles, to start implementing those new habits that you're learning. And you are able to grow based on the actions that you take. So whatever it is, if you want to start paying off debt and you set up some automatic payment, or you start following a system to do that, you can do that. If you want to lose weight and start tracking your calories, or start exercising, or start thinking differently about the foods you eat, you can do that on your own. You are very, very capable of making your own detailed plans and reaching your goals. I fully believe that you are capable of change. I have never met anyone in my life who I thought like, whoa, they're a lost cause. There's no way that they can make changes in their lives. No, I believe everyone can make change. I believe everyone deserves to turn the page on who they were and start a fresh chapter for themselves. Okay, so if making self-development changes are important to you, I think this kind of ties into similarly what I do, because my digital programs that I have, my DIY do-it-yourself programs, my free worksheets, my free videos, my free blog posts, my free workshops, which I just released some new workshops, and they're completely free. So all of this free content, all of this do-it-yourself content that I put out there is very, very popular. Why? Because we want to make changes. We all want self-development. And a lot of times we want to do it on our own. We want to give it the old college try and do it ourselves before we reach out and say, like, look, I need a coach. And that is 100% okay. I know hiring a coach is not a viable option for everyone. So if you want to go on a self-development journey on your own, I fully believe that you are capable of making change on your own. You can do this. So now let's talk about that one thing, the one element that maybe you can't get on your own. No matter how hard you try, or no matter how skillfully you plan your self-development journey, or no matter how many books you read, or articles you read, or courses you take, or whatever it is, there is one element that you can't get on your own. So to illustrate this point, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite movies. Now, I'm a big movie fan, and in my mastermind group, the Life Editor Academy, we have a book and movie club. So every month we watch a different movie and we read a different book. And one of the movies that we watched for this session was The Wizard of Oz. And I go back to this movie over and over and over again. Every time I watch it, I see something different. I get a different viewpoint out of it. I learn a little bit more, and it's just a really fun movie anyway. Okay, so I think most of us are pretty familiar with The Wizard of Oz. So let's talk about the Dorothy situation. The Dorothy situation and how it applies to life coaching. Okay, so in The Wizard of Oz, we find out at the end that Dorothy, our protagonist, our hero, had the power to get what she wanted, to reach her goal, and her goal was to go home. She had the power to go home the entire time because she was always wearing the ruby slippers. And those ruby slippers, you click them 3 times, say no place like home, and boom, you are home. So she had the tools to achieve her goals herself. She had them with her the entire time. And this is similar to my clients that I work with, because I believe that you know exactly what you need to do to be successful. You do. If I asked you right now, okay, so you want to lose weight, what do you need to do? I bet you could come up with a whole list of things. If I asked you, okay, you want to start a business, what do you need to do? You could pull some things out of the air and be like, okay, I need to do this and set up a website. I need to start emailing my subscribers, all that stuff. And even if you didn't know the very specific things that you needed to do, I bet you would know where to look to find those tools and resources. Like, I know I need to do something about marketing, so I need to read this book about marketing, and that'll help me. So you know where to find the tools to do that. So most people know what they need to do to be successful, but here's the thing, they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Well, we know what we need to do to be successful, but we're not doing it. So that kind of puts a kink in your self-development journey. If you want to grow and do these great things, it's one thing to read all these articles and watch all these courses and take all these free resources but if you're not actually doing it, you're not going to reach your goals. And going back to Dorothy. So Dorothy had the tools that she needed. She had a very clear, defined goal that she wanted. She had her support network of friends who loved her. But there was one thing that made it possible for her to reach her final goal. Or actually, it was one person. All right, you remember the story. We all remember Glinda the Good Witch. And in the movie, Glinda is Dorothy's mentor. So she is there to help Dorothy along the way. So she took Dorothy's desire to get home, and she literally put her on the path to that goal. Like literally, she put her on the yellow brick road. She's like, you want to go home? Here's what we do. Get on the yellow brick road, go see the wizard. Boom, that's your path. Now follow it. So Glinda also encouraged and believed in Dorothy, even when Dorothy was scared out of her mind, because hey, she's got a wicked witch after her. That's pretty scary too. But she let Dorothy solve her own problems. She let Dorothy make friends along the way without discouraging her. She let Dorothy handle those nasty trees who were throwing apples at her on her own. She even let Dorothy meet up with the wicked witch a few times, and she was okay on her own. That only time that Glinda stepped in was when Dorothy was completely lost and had no clue and no way to get out of a situation. Remember, this is when the poppies, when they're walking through the poppy field with all the flowers, and they fall asleep. They get poisoned by the flowers and fall asleep. Glinda comes in, wakes everyone up with snow. But for the vast majority of the movie, Glinda is in the background as a mentor, supporting Dorothy, letting her go forward, believing in her the whole time, only stepping in when absolutely necessary, and letting Dorothy follow the path to her goal. So here's the thing. Glinda provided the one thing that Dorothy couldn't get on her own, which is accountability. Accountability is the thing that a life coach provides that you cannot get on your own. So here's the thing. When I tell people that, yes, you can go on a self-development journey on your own, I believe you could absolutely make changes on your own. Will they stick? Maybe, maybe not. But you can absolutely do some good self-development work on your own. But when you're ready to have accountability, that's when you absolutely need to hire a coach. You cannot get accountability on your own. And when I say something like this, I always get pushback from people like, what do you mean I can't get accountability on my own? Of course I can. I can get that without a coach. Because they're like, oh, my best friend will be my accountability partner. My family will hold me accountable. My kids will hold me accountable. Or, hey, I'm a smart person. I'm strong. I'll hold myself accountable. Take that, Sage. So that they push back and say, like, no, you can get accountability without a coach. Actually, you can't. You really can't. So let me talk about some of the common misconceptions about accountability. So there are two really good reasons why your friends and family cannot be your accountability partners. Your friends and family cannot be your accountability partners. Number one, they can't be your accountability partners because they know your history and they will often undermine you and make it difficult for you to reach your goals. They will make you doubt yourself. So your mom, your sister, your best friend, whoever, they know your history. They know all of the times you tried to make positive changes in the past and every time that you failed. And they might bring it up and be like, oh, you're trying to lose weight now. Remember that time you tried to lose weight before and you actually gained an extra 30 pounds? Maybe you shouldn't even try. Or they'll say something like, oh, you want to get a raise? Remember that time you tried to get ahead at your last job and you tried to get a raise and they ended up firing you instead? Maybe you should just be happy where you're at right now. Or, oh, you want to start a business? Well, Uncle Bob tried to start a business and it didn't work out for him. So I don't think you should do it because what, do you know more than Uncle Bob? I don't think so. So your friends and family, number one, they can't be your accountability partners because they know your history and they will bring it up. And sometimes it's out of a place of love and sometimes it's really just to undermine you and to cut you down because they don't want you to succeed. That's a really hard thing to say, that our friends and family might not have our best interests at heart. And a lot of times they don't. They might not want you to succeed because that makes them look at themselves and notice all the times that they tried to reach their goals and didn't succeed. So your friends and family know your history and they could undermine you. Number two, they can't be your accountability partners for the opposite end because they love you. And people who love you will often let you get away with bad behavior or let you get away with playing small or not living up to your potential. So if you say something like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, and then it becomes 4 days a week, and then 3 days a week, and then you haven't been at the gym for 2 months, the people who love you, your friends and family who love you, will say, it's okay. You don't need to go to the gym that often. We love you. You don't need to strive for that big goal. And yeah, they'll let you get away with playing small. Or let's say like, oh, I want to save whatever, $1,000 this month. And you try and try and try, but every week you're coming up short. They'll be like, it's okay. You're doing so well. You're doing so much. It's okay if you don't save that money. We'll bail you out again. It's okay. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, that your friends and family love you so much that they're not going to hold you to any of the tasks or any of the things that you want to complete. If you don't reach your goal, they're going to be totally fine with it. They have no skin in the game. They're like, you don't reach your goal, we still love you. It's okay. So why would you push yourself if they're going to let you get off the hook anyway? So those are the two reasons why your friends and family cannot be your accountability partners, because they know your history and they'll bring it up every time you fail or all of the mistakes you've made in the past. And two, they love you so much that they'll let you get away with half-assing it. They'll let you get away with not putting in full effort. It's okay if you don't reach your goal. They still love you. Okay, so that takes care of why you can't get accountability from your friends and family. And for any of you who might have tried having a friend or family member be your accountability partner, leave a comment and let me know, how did that go? And how long did that last before either one or both of you started slipping up? Okay, But then I have people come up to me and say, Sage, I'm a strong person. I really, really, really want this change. I really want to reach this goal. I'm strong. I can do it myself. I can hold myself accountable for this. Really? Really? You think you can do that? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever made a New Year's resolution? Yeah? Most people have made a New Year's resolution at least once during their life. Did you stick to it? How's that New Year's resolution going now in September? Yeah, that's the problem with keeping ourselves accountable by ourselves, being our own accountability partners. That's the problem because it is so easy. You know this. You know this is true. It is so easy to break the promises that we make to ourselves. No matter how much you want that goal, no matter how much you want to lose weight, no matter how much you want to start a business and earn money, or no matter how much you want to save and pay off your student loans, whatever, there's going to come a time where you're going to break the promises that you make to yourself because you're human, because things get hard, because things get difficult, because you're going to hit a brick wall and you're not going to know what the next step is, because there's not going to be enough people supporting you who actually know what you're going through, who actually know what the next step is down the path. And if you don't have that, you can't be your own accountability. So here's the thing. Those are the reasons why, if you want to have lasting change and you want to have the best chance of success, you need a life coach, because a life coach provides accountability that you cannot get from someone you love and you cannot get from yourself. A coach doesn't know your history, doesn't know your baggage, doesn't know how many times you've messed up in the past. They will hold you accountable and they will support you no matter what. Now, as a coach, I wouldn't be walking my talk if I didn't work with coaches myself to help me, to build me up. So I've worked with business coaches, I've worked with life coaches. And the great thing about working with another coach is that the coaches that I've worked with, they didn't care that I grew up in an abusive household. They didn't care that I attempted suicide as a teenager. They didn't care how many times I tried to make change and failed in the past. They didn't care what was in my bank account. They didn't care how old I was or any of those things. All they saw was, I have this goal and we're moving forward on this goal now. That's what a life coach is. And that's also the distinction between a life coach and a therapist or a counselor. A therapist and a counselor will go over all of your past mistakes, all of the past troubles that you've had, figure out how you're dealing and processing those things now in the present. A life coach will take where you are in the present, get a clear idea of where you want to go in the future, and that's what we focus on. We don't worry about what happened in the past. The past doesn't exist. We are here right now. What are our circumstances right now, and where do we want to go going forward? So the coaches that I've worked with have been so amazing with that, with helping me move forward and believe in myself, no matter what nonsense I've dealt with in the past. And you can't get that. You can't get that from friends and family. You can't even get that from yourself, because you will keep bringing up the things that you did wrong. Like, oh, I want to put out this video, but I don't want someone to say something nasty about my appearance. Or, I do want to save money, but what if I mess up again and I have to dip into my savings or whatever? Or, oh, I really want to start working out and go to the gym, but what if I don't know what I'm doing and I make a fool of myself? You remember all of those things. Your friends and family remember all of those things. Life coach? It is a blank slate. A life coach provides this unbiased figure for you to hold you accountable. You say you're going to do something, I fully 100% believe you are going to do that. I'm going to hold that space for you. I'm going to set you on your path, and I'm going to check in with you and believe in you the whole entire time. So that's the difference. If you want to go on a self-development journey, 100% believe you can make change on your own. If you want accountability, you cannot get accountability on your own. So going back to the Wizard of Oz example, at the end of the movie, Dorothy asks Glinda, hey, why didn't you tell me that I could click my heels and use these ruby slippers and get home and reach my big goal immediately? And Glinda tells her, you wouldn't have believed me. And Dorothy agrees that was absolutely true, that she had to go on this journey, learn more about herself. She had to strive for her own goal, make her own mistakes, and get to the finish line on her own. Whereas if the coach or Glinda had stepped in, waved a magic wand, and made it happen instantly, she wouldn't have learned anything. She wouldn't have learned anything. So that's another great thing about hiring a coach, is that we're not going to step in and magically transform your life. You still have to do the work, but we're going to be there in your corner, supporting you, keeping you accountable so that you can do the work and do the steps that you know you need to do. All right. Like I said before, 9 out of 10 times, you know exactly what you need to do to be successful. You know how to lose weight, you know how to save money, you know how to pay off debt, you know how to start a business, you know how to improve your relationships, you know how to do all of those good things, or you know where you can find the resources to help you with those next steps. But you're not doing those things. Hiring a life coach keeps you accountable so you do the things that you know you want to do to reach your goals. Okay, so answering the big question of the day, can you coach yourself? Can you be your own life coach? Yes, if you want to go on a self-development journey and you want to make changes on your own, implement new habits on your own, yes, 100% you are capable of making change right where you are right now. But no, you cannot coach yourself because you cannot be your own accountability. If you want someone to hold you accountable and make sure you do the hard work, even when you're hitting all of those obstacles, even when things are confusing, even when you're tired and anxious and you can't do it anymore, that's when you hire a coach. That's exactly what coaches do. We help you get to from point A to point B as quickly as possible without the burnout. And we support you as you do the work. You do the work, we're the support. All right. That was my big talk about whether or not you can coach yourself. I want to hear from you, life editors. So leave a comment, even if you're watching the replay later. I want to hear, have you ever tried to coach yourself? How did it go? How long were you able to stick with it? And what kind of results did you get? And then, for those of you who have worked with a coach, how was it different? Was it nice having someone in your corner the whole time, knowing there was someone who got your back the whole time? Was it nice knowing that there was someone who believed in you and kept pushing you forward without bringing up all the mistakes of the past or letting you off the hook? That's the thing. A coach won't let you off the hook either. Okay, so I've got some homework for you. If you're watching this replay, leave a comment. I really, really want to hear your thoughts about whether or not you think it's possible to coach yourself, and have you been able to find accountability outside of a coach? I don't know. I also want to hear your funniest New Year's resolution stories, because I think we all have New Year's resolution stories where we're like, I'm going to do this year. And then whoops, I mess up before February. It's okay. We're all friends here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we want to make positive changes and what's working for us and what's not working for us. And if you want some extra help with your self-development journey, whether you're doing it on your own or whether you hire me, click the link below and sign up for my free productivity workshops. Here, let me put it up. There we go. It's at sagegrayson.com/workshops. I have 4 all new productivity workshops to help you get more stuff done quicker without the overwhelm. And they are broken up depending on what type of productivity you're looking for. If you're a business owner and you're looking to run your business more efficiently, I got a workshop for you. If you're looking to get more done during your day, I've got one for you. I've got another one that has to do with your energy levels, which is really important. I think a lot of us, our energy kind of ebbs and flows all day. But if you want consistent energy all day, I've got one for you. And then I've got a really fun one about creating your next 12-week plan. And if you look at the calendar, we've got 3 months left of the year. So setting up your 12-week plan to take you to the end of the year would be an excellent thing to do this week. So just go to sagegrayson.com/workshops. And then also, if you have a little inkling, if you're kind of playing around with the idea of, I wonder what it would really be like to hire a life coach and whether or not I would reach my goals faster and how would I feel about those results. If you would like to talk to me, I would love to talk to you. I'm going to leave a link below where you can schedule a completely free life editing strategy call with me. It's just me and you for 30 minutes on Zoom talking about what's going on in your life, what challenges you're facing, and then where you want to go. What are those great big dreams you have for yourself? And we're going to talk about how you can make a plan to get there, and maybe the types of tools, resources, and support that you need to be most successful. So I love doing these free calls. And if you want to try out life coaching with no obligation to buy a bigger program, go ahead and click that link and schedule your free life editing strategy call with me. All right. I don't see any other comments coming in at the moment, but if you're watching this replay, even if you're watching this replay months later, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment and let me know. Do you agree that coaches provide accountability that you can't get elsewhere? Do you think I'm full of it? Do you think you can absolutely get accountability from another source? Maybe. I would also like to hear, what is your biggest goal right now, or maybe even your biggest goal going through the end of the year that you want to achieve? And if you've broken down all of the projects and all of the tasks and all of the little steps you need to take to get there. Would love to hear what you're working on. And as always, if you have any other suggestions for topics, let me know in the comments too, because I do take your suggestions to heart. And I want to make sure that these live streams have content that you want to see. And of course, if you love these videos, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube so then you won't miss any of my other life editing videos, and you will be first to know when I launch new products and programs. All right, that's it, Life Editor. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'm wishing you the best on your journey, wherever that may take you. And if you need extra help, go ahead and click that link below and set up your call with me. All right, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you again real soon. Bye.